In the name of Amen the Supreme, the All-Powerful, the one and only true Lord, and Amen we trust as the Republic of Mentellect, the true 144,000 that's being gathered this day and time, the Mentalists. And Zach Noon to all of my mentalist brothers and sisters out there, registered members of the Republic of Mentellect, and to all future mentalists who have yet to find their way home to Amen's covenant, which is the Republic of Mentellect. We send greetings to you and we send peace out to you in our Mentellian language by saying to you, Menzeka Noon. Good evening. I am your host, the intellectual Nuben Menkares, and this is Mentellect Radio, and tonight we're going to be discussing why people really embrace chaos and confusion in their lives. Quite simply, people make themselves open vessels for chaos and confusion because you've been taught and trained that to have law and order in your life is boring. It is boring, and you are taught that by having this sort of structure in your life, that oftentimes you will become complacent and you will feel a need to mix things up, make things chaotic in your life. They'll say your life is boring if you have law and order, if you have structure in your life. And people say, you need a little, you need to throw a little something into your life to spice it up. They use words like spice it up. That's a code word for adding chaos and confusion to your life, right? As opposed to keeping law and order, right? When you see people out here that commit crimes, right, like the ones who doing the things they do, drug dealing, all the different crimes, rape, robbery, murder, all of that can be traced back to chaos and confusion. All of it can be traced back to chaos and confusion because they see this as exciting, right? To open yourself up as a vessel for negative energy, spiritual energy, demonic and demented energy that is heavy on this planet within what I refer to as the spiritual realm. And I'm going to talk about that tomorrow because Earth is the spiritual realm. Make no mistakes about it. It is the low frequency realm in which all spirits are running free here. All forms of negative energy is running free here. And they are looking to take over an open vessel. They are constantly looking to take over an open vessel, and they look for those vessels who are complacent, who are bored, who have too much time on their hands, who's sitting around talking about, I'm bored, I wish I could, and you looking for things to do. And while you're looking for things to do, you're opening yourself up to that demonic energy, that demented energy, that chaotic and confused energy, right, as a form of excitement. Next thing you know, you're drinking, you're smoking, you're getting high, you're doing all these things, right, to bring chaos and confusion in your life. You're sleeping with a bunch of strange men or women, you flinging it off with female homosexuality. All this stuff is representative of chaos and confusion because people don't ever want to call it what it really is. People don't want to call it what it is. They want to call these homosexual relationships alternative lifestyles, right? They want to call these people who follow in the religions and that a form of belief system. They want to call these people who are involved in politics, Republican versus Democrat, liberal versus conservative, whatever. They want to refer to these people as just what they are, or they want to refer to them as something other than what they are, I should say, which is a bunch of chaotic and confused people, people who need or desire this form of excitement in their lives. They represent the car that is looking to be taken for a ride. I'm going to say it again. They represent the car, the empty vessel that is looking to be taken for a ride, right? And who is going to take that empty vessel for a ride? But those low-grade, demented, and demonic energies that exist in this planet. When I say that, I don't want it to be all spookified and all spooked out and things like that, sounding crazy. I said this before, and I'll say it again. I'll reiterate this. You have a bunch of negative energies or entities in the earth from people who have passed on for thousands and thousands and thousands of years because, like I said before, the people who are connected to this earth, by people, place, and possession, they never really go anywhere. Their spirit wanders the earth. That's why earth is considered earth is really the spirit realm, the spiritual realm. Don't let people fool you and lie to you and make you think that the spiritual realm is somewhere higher than earth or somewhere higher than the physical realm, because it is not. Earth in this physical state is the spiritual realm. And you have all kinds of low grade energy, low grade people whose spirits, whose energy is still walking the planet, looking to cause mischief and take over the bodies of those who are seeking excitement, aka chaos and confusion. They're seeking that, right? They're seeking that type of excitement, that type of energy and whatnot. They have those, what I used to refer to them as folly demons on them, and they open themselves up to that, right? This is why when you see the so-called black woman walking around with blonde hair, blue eyes, that's a straight-up folly demon on her. She took a look at herself in the mirror, right, and she said, I don't like how my hair looked. I don't like how my eyes look, which was nothing wrong with her hair and her eyes. So she decided to do something chaotic and confused. She decided to do some chaotic and confused activity by putting blonde in her hair and blue in her eyes and looking crazy. You see it all over the place. You see black women walking down the street, orange hair, blonde hair, blue hair, white people too, because they are all part of that chaotic and confused energy. Whatever would make you do something crazy like that, chaotic like that, that is people who open themselves up to that kind of energy. They become that vehicle that is looking to be driven, right? Because they don't know how to drive themselves anywhere. When you are embracing law and order in your life, you drive yourself onto a higher level, onto a higher principality, because law and order is a constant in the universe. Law and order, even in the higher dimensions of this planet, is a constant and continuous state. Chaos and confusion is a three-dimensional limited state. Chaos and confusion is three-dimensional and limited, right? So when you get caught up in people, place, and possession in that chaotic state, looking to be open vessels for that demented energy because you are bored, like they said that old saying, that an idle mind is a devil's workshop. An idle mind is a devil's workshop. I used to hear old timers say it all the time, especially my grandmother. Idle mind is the devil's workshop, meaning that when you are not doing anything to occupy your time based in a form of law and order, something that will extend you, better you on a higher level, because that higher level in which you are extending yourself is supposed to represent Amen, the Most High, the Creator. That linear path that you are supposed to be taking that has a law and order to it, right, is what keeps you out of chaotic and confused states. It keeps you from running to be an open vessel for demonic and demented energy, right? It keeps you from wanting to do that. Like a lot of you women, you might have girlfriends who will come, right, and you'll be sitting at home and you'll be doing some work, or you'll be trying to contemplate something, to do something. You could be using that alone time, right? You could be using that alone time to contemplate your next big move, or what you want to do in your life, or how you want to handle your children, whatever you want to do. And then along comes your demonic girlfriend, your chaotic and confused girlfriend. Come on, girl, let's go out to the club. Let's stand around and try to get niggas to buy us drinks, right? Let's go to do this over here. Let's go do that. Let's go listen to some loud music over here. Let's go smoke on something. Or you might be with your boys, your homeboys, and you might be trying to be by yourself, and you're trying to, extend yourself. You're trying to go into a state of meditation, whatever you're trying to do, or think on a higher level. You're trying to figure things out. Here they come. Yo, nigga, what you doing? What you doing? Yo, son, you want to smoke this with us? You want to hang out with us? You want to go over here? You want to listen to? You want to go over here and do it? And they try to come with that chaotic and confused state because they want to spread that. They want to spread that demon. See, once that demon takes over their bodies, that demon demands more attention. That demon demands that they go out and get other people. I'm being serious here. I'm not joking. That demon, right, that demonic energy, demands that they go out and get more people to join them. Go get more people. Misery, we need company. They'll tell you, go get more people. And you go out and get more people, Next thing you know, you got a crew and y'all riding around, right? And y'all next thing you know, you do something crazy. It's always that one person, yo, let's go over here and do this, or let's go over here and do that. And you be like, damn, I don't want to do that. I don't want to run up in here and do this. I don't want to run up and do that. Somebody always suggests something that's over the top, something that y'all normally wouldn't do, but it's always that one person who said, yo, let's go over here and do this, or let's go over here and do that. Let's do this. Next thing you know, they got you locked up in jail. Something done happened, and you locked up in jail, or you getting shot, or something's happening. Y'all getting attacked because you went the wrong place. That's that demon that steered these people in that direction. Because all it takes is that one body, that one entity, that one vessel for that demonic energy to take over, and then that person is going to look for others to carry that same demonic force, that same demonic energy. Right? It becomes contagious. It's like when you get some good news, you of course want to share that with people. You want to spread it and whatnot. You might want to spread that good news. You want to spread that vibration and whatnot. You want to try to establish law and order amongst your family, whatever. So the same way you want to, if you have a mindset of law and order, you want to establish that amongst your people, around amongst your family. You have those who have a mindset of chaos and confusion, who also want to establish that, who want to spread that. Right? You'll have a guy who, they always, if you ever notice in a lot of these stories about the hood, right? They'll always talk about that one guy in the hood, the one who's supposed to be the badass, the guy that everybody was afraid of, and they was kind of looking up to, the badass guy of the hood, right? He was the guy that started the gangs. He was the guy that was robbing and stealing, and he influenced a whole lot of people to go that way. That was the guy who had all that demonic energy in him. He was the one that had all the demonic energy. And it'll be a few of them, because they become vessels that are being controlled by that demonic energy, because they didn't have the mental fortitude to follow law and order. See, it takes a strong mind. It takes a very strong mind to continuously follow a state of law and order, a state of organization and structure. It takes a strong mind to do that. That's why, if you notice, black people don't really have good organizations or communities. This is why black people don't really have any real good organizations out there or communities, because black people would rather embrace chaos and confusion rather than law and order. See, because if you have a strong organization and you got people who are in that organization for life, they live in that life, right? They in that forever, and they living by a law and the order, and they ain't out here trying to cause confusion or trying to run with the people who are in that chaotic state, nor are they trying to bring that into the organization or in the movement. That represents a strong-minded people. A strong-minded people keep law and order constantly. But the weak-minded, they always have that desire to open themselves up to chaos and confusion. They always have that. Everything will be going good in the movement and the organization, and then there's always that few that will cause a problem, and it'll be something small, but they'll make it into they'll make a mountain into a molehill. A molehill into a mountain. They'll turn something that is minor into something that's major, because that chaos and confusion, that demonic energy is taking hold of them, and they're looking to cause problems. They're looking for that excitement and that drama. You know how you say those people, they love drama. They love drama. That's real. Those demons that have taken over the vessel of those bodies, of the bodies of those people, they love drama. Same way these people catch the Holy Ghost in church, those are real demonic energies that they catch. The same way the Africans catch them voodoo spirits and whatnot when they doing them dances and whatnot, just to throw everybody off and foaming at the mouth. That to them is exciting, right? Person foaming at the mouth, falling on the floor, laughing and whatnot, and they jumping up and down and making a spectacle out of themselves, and people are laughing, but they find that to be exciting. You got people that go to the church just to see Mrs. Johnson fall on the floor and 4 or 5 times roll on the floor and foam out of her mouth, because they think it's funny, right? To get her snatched off the damn seat, off the damn pew, and falling all over the floor, because they find that funny. Because people who carry that demonic energy, that chaotic and confused energy, they think the strangest and the weirdest things, the things that are not really funny at all, they think that's funny. They'll find humor in that because that's the demon in them that finds humor in all kinds of pain, all kinds of twisted thought process, right? All kinds of ignorant things. They find pleasure in that. And they take hold of you so that you find pleasure in it. You open yourself up to that. Chaos and confusion. Again, that's why you don't have any black organizations out here. You don't have any real black organizations out here. Black people would rather, I'm going to show you what I mean by that. Black people would rather march, right? They would rather rally together and march on white people or white organizations or white institutions. They would rather march and protest rather than just to come together and form their own institutions. They would rather march and protest and carry signs and scream and shout, right? And do all this stuff rather than just to come together and form their own institution. Why? Because they like the chaos and the confusion of the protest. They like the chaos and confusion of the protest. They don't like the law and orderly way of going about forming their own institutions and whatnot, and stop asking white people to let them in. Or they don't want to go through all that. Because, see, that is a continuous and constant and a form of activity that's constantly has to be worked on. So you have to follow, when you're doing stuff like that, you have to follow a certain protocol. You have to follow a certain law. You have to follow a certain order. And black people ain't trying to do that. Black people are not trying to do that because black people have been making themselves open vessels for demented and demonic energy for a very long time. They have been doing that for a very long time. How you know that is because in the so-called black communities around the world, around America and around the world, it's always some kind of drama and chaos and drug dealing, some kind of negativity going on in the neighborhood. And black people are willing to live with that. They're willing to live with that. They're willing to live with that on some sort of level rather than to come together and stomp out that chaos and confusion. They would rather live with that rather than to really come together and stomp that out. In the so-called conscious community, that which is not really a community, these Negroes would rather debate and argue and go back and forth rather than just to put aside all the differences and come together as one. They would rather argue and debate. I believe in this, I believe in that. That's not really the argument. The argument is more about who can be more chaotic and confused, who can spread more chaos and confusion. Who can spread more chaos and confusion? Who can spread more chaos and confusion and entertain people while they're doing it? Who can do that? Who can bring more drama? Because these people's lives, when it comes to law and order, is boring. They consider that to be boring. It's boring to follow the law. It's boring to do the right thing. It's boring to follow law and order. I'd rather break the law. And that's not just black people, it's white people, it's people in general. I want to get over. I want to get over. I want to just get over some kind of way. Right? I want to beat the system. Right? Then the system was put in place for a reason. Because it maintains law and order, but they don't want to hear that. Now, you know, sometimes the system is corrupt, but the people who are corrupting the system are representatives of that chaos and confusion. You have representatives of chaos and confusion everywhere. You have representatives of chaos and confusion everywhere. In every race, black, white, in the law enforcement and crime, right? In all walks of life, you have agents of chaos and confusion. People who open themselves up as vessels to that demonic and demented energy. Right? Because that demonic and demented energy is heavy on this planet. That's what the spiritual realm is all about. The spiritual realm is all about chaos and confusion. Don't listen to the so-called religious people, when they try to tell you that the spiritual realm is all about peace and greater power and connection with the Creator. That's a lie. That's a damn lie. The spiritual realm is here on earth, and it is all about chaos and confusion. It is all about chaos and confusion, and people who open themselves up as vessels of demented and demonic energy. That's what that's about. It's nothing but all kinds of different and perverse spirits here on earth. And I said today in my page, I said on Facebook, I said we must ascend the spiritual realm. When I was talking about the elect who are solar beings. We must ascend, meaning to mentally block out and eventually physically move ourselves to the fourth dimension. That's what I mean by say ascend the spiritual realm, which is locked in the three dimensions. We have to ascend it by moving to the fourth. We move above that. Same way the Amen beings are above the spiritual realm. The Amen beings are above the spiritual realm as soul beings, and thus the elect will be the same way. They will be above the spiritual beings who are open vessels for chaos and confusion. They're open vessels for any kind of demented and demonic energy. Right? And that's the truth. That's the truth. Even those who carry a negative energy, like I said, in the physical form, you might be listening to some BS about politics. Next thing you know, you accepting the philosophies of the politicians. Or you might be listening to some BS about music or anything. Anything that's about chaos and confusion. And you just accept it. You take it into your mind. You take it into your body, and next thing you know, it has transformed you, and you become part of that chaos and confusion as well. You become joined on to that state of chaos and confusion. You find yourself going to rallies, right, and things like that, getting involved in things that have nothing to do with you. I gave a good example of this when I said, be careful of calling yourself or connecting yourself to Muslims, Christians, and Jews or Israelites. Be careful, because they have a demonic energy on them. Right? You calling yourself a Muslim, right? And you are chanting out the name Allah with these Arabs who you calling your brothers, and these Arabs don't like you, hate your guts, and they have their own form of racism there in Saudi Arabia and in the Middle East, right? And these people have a terrorist mentality. Next thing you know, you get caught up on all up in that Islamic nonsense, and you chanting Allah. Next thing you know, you start growing a big fur beard on your damn face and start acting like you was born in Arabia somewhere. And you start talking about like you had a lot of so-called black Muslims who were born here in America, who converted to Islam, who started getting around the Sunni Muslims and taking on their demonic energy. They became open vessels for that chaotic and confused state of those Arabs. Next thing you know, these Negroes are confused. They start acting like they was born here in America and that they so-called black people. Next thing you know, they running around with these Arabs talking about blowing up something in America. Like as if they were born here, as if they were born in Saudi Arabia. They start taking on the energy of those people, that chaotic and confused energy. They start taking it on. They start acting just like these people. You'll see them walking around with white robes and damn sandals in the wintertime, acting like they somewhere in the desert. Because you tapped into that submental energy. You tapped into that chaotic and confused energy of those people, those demented people. You start following their ways because you become an open vessel for that Sunni Islamic mindset, that Arab mindset. Next thing you know, you make your woman become a Muslim. You beating on her and whatnot. You treating her like you a damn Arab. You treating her just like that because you done took on that energy. You done took on that chaotic and confused energy. It is very much a desire for the vessel to take on that energy. Right? Because, like I said, 9 times out of 10, these people are bored. They're looking for a way. They're looking for something to follow, something to believe in. Right? So they open themselves up as vessels to those demonic energies. But you have to first be looking for something to believe in. You ain't looking for nothing to think about. You're looking for something to believe in. You want to be in something, or you want something to be inside of you. You want the spirit of that chaos and confusion inside of you. You want the spirit of that chaos and confusion within you. Because you know the Muslims are confused as hell. The Arabs are confused as hell. They're going to tell you that Allah is the Most High and the Creator, and that you should pray to Allah. You should turn your head to the east. But if Allah is everywhere, why you got to turn your head to the east? If you don't know what Allah is, then how are we praying to Allah? See what I'm saying? Confusion. How are we praying to something we don't even know what it is? That's confusion. That's chaos. But you embrace these things because you are an open vessel and you're looking to believe in something. You want to be in something. Or you want something to be in you, and that is the spirit of those Arabs. You want to be a believer. You want to be a believer. You want to be a believer. You want to be part of the lie. You want the energy of those Arabs that you look up to, and their demonic energy jumps on you. Same way when you go to the Christian church and you go in there all normal, next thing you know, you see the people all falling on the floor, screaming and dancing and going crazy, catching the Holy Ghost. Next thing you know, you up there, you start screaming and shouting too and falling all on the floor and it's crying and whatnot and jumping up and down because now you've become a part of their energy. You become a part of their chaotic and confused and demonic energy. And that's exactly what it is. Because you don't know why you jumping up and down. You don't know why you screaming. You doing it because you picking up on their energy and you following their energy. You have become an open vessel to their madness. You become an open vessel to their madness, to their chaotic and confused energy. You understand? You made yourself an open vessel. That's why they always want believers, because believers equals open vessels. Believers equals an open vessel. Sheep, not thinkers. See, we in the Republic of Mental, like I said, we don't want no believers here. We want thinkers here. The true Most High, the real Most High, the Lord Amen is only dealing with thinkers, not believers. See, in the church they want believers because they know they can manipulate you. They know that you become a open vessel to embrace chaos and confusion once you accept that way of thinking, that way of, that belief. Once you accept that belief, you become an open vessel for chaos and confusion, and that's what they want. You don't know why you're doing what you're doing. You don't know why you're praying 5 times a day. You don't know why you got to wear a beard on your face. You ask any Muslim, any Israelite, why you got to pray 5 times a day? Why you got to wear a beard on your face? Well, because it says in the book, Allah says, there ain't no Allah said nothing. There ain't no Yahweh said nothing. Some man wrote that in the book that claims they had a conversation with God. But then why would your God care if you wear a beard or not, or pray 5 times a day? Or is that something some man said? And they can't tell you because then that shows you that they following chaos and confusion because they made themselves open vessels to embrace it because they were searching for it. They were searching for it because in their mind it's too hard to think about things. It's too hard to think about things. It's too hard to be a part of something that is about pure thought, pure thinking, which means their mind has to constantly and continuously work overtime. And they don't like that because a lot of them don't have the believers, the ones who open themselves up as vessels to the chaotic and confused demonic energy. They don't have the mental capacity to think. They don't have the mental capacity, so they're just looking for something to believe in, something to follow. They don't have the mental capacity to think. And when you don't have the mental capacity to think, you are looking to believe in anything. You are looking to follow anything. That's why I say Hail Amen for the Republic of Mentellect, because I tell those who come into the Republic of Mentellect, you're not here to believe in me. You're not here to believe in Nuben Menkares. You're here to think about the message that's being dispatched by way of Amen through me, because it's going to make it resonate in your mind. It's going to resonate. It will become familiar to those who have made themselves thinkers, receivers, transmitters to this message, unlike the believers who have made themselves prey to man. They've made themselves prey to man. They made themselves prey to pulpit preachers and pimps and hustlers who are trying to get you to believe in something because they know you want something inside of you. You want the spirit inside of you. They always trying to put the spirit in you. I'm going to give you the Holy Ghost. And they're trying to put hands on you and make you think that spirit energy is going into you, which a lot of it is. When they putting their hands on you and telling you they praying in the name of Jesus for you, they trying to put that spiritual energy inside of you, that demonic spiritual energy in you. That's exactly what they doing. That demented spiritual energy, so you walking around confused. You ain't thinking no more. You're not thinking about, why am I doing this? You ain't thinking about that. You ain't thinking, well, what does this mean? Why can I ask the Reverend some questions? You ain't thinking about that no more. You just believe it. You just believe. They give you a big book of beliefs that is nothing but chaos and confusion. Nothing but chaos and confusion. What is in the Bible but chaos and confusion? People fighting, killing, right? All kinds of parables and things like that that don't make no sense. What is the Bible but a bunch of chaos and confusion? The only thing about the Bible that makes sense is the book of Revelation, where a elect group of people are raised up out of the chaos and confusion. And that represents an intelligent race of new people, or next level people being raised in the book of Revelation. You understand? That is the age of revelation that we are in right now, where a group of people are being raised out of that chaotic and confused state. That's what the book of Revelation really is. Because everything in that book prior to the book of Revelation is nothing but chaos and confusion. Nothing but chaos and confusion. Things that are out of order. Things that don't make sense. You understand? In your so-called church, you got a lot of homosexuals in there now. Giving you an example of this. You got homosexuals and lesbians in the church. Now, why would they come to the church that is, and that's supposed to be against homosexuality and lesbianism, as according to the book of Leviticus, I believe it's in, where it speaks against homosexuality and lesbianism. Now, why would homosexuals want to then go into the church or go into religion and hold a book in their hand, hold a Bible in their hand, talk about a God who loves and whatnot and doesn't judge? Why would they try and produce that narrative? Why would they try to push that narrative forward? Why would they go into a place that is supposed to be traditionally against homosexuality and lesbianism and that so-called alternative lifestyle? Is because they want to spread that confusion in the church. The place where it was supposed to be where supposedly it was supposed to be the last place where there was no confusion, where it was supposed to be about God, man, and woman. They want to turn that upside down because these people are confused. These people are confused. So they're looking to come into anything and bring confusion and chaos because that chaotic and confused demon is all inside of them. So wherever they go, they looking to cause chaos and confusion. It's like that vampire that bites the person, right? The vampire that bites the person, and that person goes around, turns into a vampire, and start looking to bite other people and infect them, right? And suck the life out of them and turn them into vampires. That's the same way the chaotic and confused people are. That's the same way they are. They got that demonic energy in them, and they looking to bring chaos and confusion wherever they go. Wherever they go, they're looking to bring chaos and confusion because the law and order that's established there is boring to them. They hate that. The demon in them hates that. The demon in them hates law and order, so they're looking for chaos and confusion. They're looking for anything, any little thing to start something, try to steer people, to try to get people to put doubt in their mind. They're looking for anything. Anything. The Israelites always talking about, the spiritual energy, the spiritual being, the spirit. It's the spirit that made me curse out the black woman. See, that's the spirit right there. The spirit made me do that. The spirit made me curse. They'll say that because they are right and exact when they say that's the spirit. They're open vessels, but they're basically saying they're open vessels for any form of spiritual energy, whether they call it demonic or not, that could come into them at any time and make them say and do anything. So they've really basically shown you that they have no control over their vessel. They have no control over their vessel, and if you don't have any control over your vessel, meaning your physical frame, then that means you have no law and order in your life. You have no law and order in your life if you have no control over your physical vessel. If you made yourself open to be double-minded, to be demented, to say one thing 1 minute, then you losing your mind and going crazy over emotion, and you saying something in the next minute, you have no control over your life. You are a vessel of demonic energy. You are a vessel for it because you are bored, you're angry, you're emotional, you feel a need to cling on to that demonic energy, and then you become double-minded. You say one thing 1 minute, then you do something in the next minute. You start lashing out and attacking things, looking for things to do, and you're not even mindful of what you're doing. You're not even mindful of it. You're not even aware. You're just looking to start trouble. Argue, right? Like like Aunt Betty at the damn family picnic, or Uncle Fred, or whoever. They get them a bottle of liquor. Next thing you know, they trying to goddamn fight everybody. You understand? They trying to fight everybody. They telling family secrets. They starting stuff at the family gathering. Everything is peaceful. Everybody laughing and having a good time. Next thing you know, Uncle Fred or Aunt Betty, they turning up. They acting like damn demons. They had a little bit of liquor in them. They about to turn up. No, that ain't the liquor. That's not the liquor. That's what they wanted to do. They saw that everybody was having a good time. Everything was mellow. Everything had a was lawful and orderly. Everything was nice and together. And they don't like that. The demon that took on Aunt Betty or Fred, they don't like that. You always gonna have that one demonic ass uncle or aunt that's in the family, or that cousin, that stealing cousin, or that you're always gonna have that demon in the family, or a few of them that's gonna always show up at the family gathering to cause problems. They're gonna bring that law and that chaos and confusion. Because they make themselves open vessels to that energy every night. They pray when they in the damn church. They praying for that demonic energy to take over their body. When they alone in their homes and they can't deal with being alone. They can't stand being by themselves. They pray for that certain person to come into their life. They pray for that person to come in their life. They'll say they want a man in their life or a woman in their life, but they really want that demonic energy in their life. That's really what they want, because they feel that's a form of excitement to take them out of those emotional states. Because those emotional states just really represents them being bored with law and order. They bored with law and order, so because they're bored with law and order, they get to that emotional state. Well, I need something in my life. I need something in my life. What they're looking for is a demon to take over their body. That's really what they're looking for. They're looking to become open vessels for that demonic energy because they bored. They hate being by themselves. They hate it. They hate being by themselves. They hate having to be silenced. They hate silence. You understand? So they're looking to reach out to cause problems with other people. You understand? They're looking to invade other people's lives. And that demonic energy is on them while they're doing it. They're looking to destroy other people's lives. They become predators. They become spiritual predators. Because the spirit of chaos and confusion is taking over their bodies. So they're looking to become spiritual predators. And they're looking wherever they can get in there to cause chaos and confusion, wherever they can be amongst those who are causing disorder, they with it. They with it. You can see it in their eyes. If you pay attention, you can see the demonic energy in their eyes. They become like I said, they become like what's the word I want to say? They become like incoherent vessels. You'll see that there's a blank space in their eye when they are demonically possessed. That demon wants to be entertained. That demon wants a vessel to go up in and cause chaos and confusion and folly. That demon wants an open vessel. And so many people on earth give them that open vessel, especially you so-called black men and black women, you black males and females who give yourself as over as an open vessel. That's why, like I said, you see the so-called black female walking down the street, damn blonde hair in her head, orange hair, red hair. What the hell what would make you do something like that? Blonde hair, orange hair, blue hair. That's not even a hairstyle. That's just madness, and that's just madness. That's insanity. Blue contacts in your eyes, and you dark as the ace of spades and whatnot. You dark bronze, and you walking around with blue contact lenses in your eyes and blonde hair on your head. That's nothing but demonic and demented energy. You understand? That's nothing but demonic and demented energy. What will make you want to touch on a young boy, you males and whatnot, being child molesters and whatnot? That's nothing but demonic and demented energy. You understand? What man would let another man put his hands on him, sexually or otherwise? That's nothing but demented and demonic energy. Because if you look in the face of a lot of these faggots, you can see that they got a whole lot of demonic energy in them. Them niggas are like demons. Me and the brothers was out the other day, and we saw some damn homosexuals, some faggot, and I'm gonna just say it like that, raw and uncut. And I don't care who don't like it, because a lot of you so-called black females who stick up for these faggots, a lot of y'all got demons on y'all. Because why would you stick up for somebody who's following that unnatural lifestyle? I don't give a goddamn whether you got a family member who are homosexual or not. Wrong is wrong. But a lot of you so-called black females have embraced chaos and confusion. That's why you got faggots for friends. You hang out with them. You let them be around your children. And they got that demonic energy all over them. But anyway, me and the brothers was out, and we see, you know, and like I said, it made such a bad impression in my mind that it's going to be there until it fades away. We out there, me and the brothers out there promoting for this Sunday's conference, and here comes sashaying up some nigga with a hard face, a hard Joe Frazier boxer face. For those of you who don't know who Joe Frazier is, he was an old ex-boxer back in the 70s. Joe Frazier looking old mech face nigga, hard face with a low season. He got on a damn pink dress and stockings and whatnot with lipstick on. You understand that? And that it looked really sick. He was sick, mentally ill. He was possessed with that demonic energy, that energy of chaos and confusion. Because you got a hard face, you got a hard man face. You don't even try to put a damn wig on your head, even though it wouldn't have worked. But he didn't even try. You got a hard ass man face, a boxer face, and you walking around with a damn pink skirt on and some stockings and high heels. You understand? That's a nigga that embraced chaos and confusion. He got demons all over him. Because anybody that you do something like that, something's wrong with you. Something is wrong with you. That is not some alternative lifestyle. That's nothing but a bunch of demonic energy. You understand? And the beast is making you so-called black males open for that demonic energy. He opening you up. That's pure lunacy. You understand? He opened you up to that. You so-called black males. What do? He give you a lot of mind-altering drugs, popping mollies, ecstasy, all this stuff. And that's when a lot of you so-called black males turn into damn homosexuals. Or you damn black females walking around dressed like tying down your damn breasts with ace bandages. You tying down your damn titties with ace bandages. I said it. You tying on your titties with ace bandages. And tucking socks down between your damn legs. Or strap-ons. That's pure lunacy. That's pure lunacy. Pure insanity. And that's what's living around you. A bunch of people with demonic energy. A bunch of people with chaotic and confused energy. But the white man will tell you, oh, there's nothing wrong with that. That shouldn't be seen as that should be seen as an alternative lifestyle. He wants to normalize that chaotic and confused energy. He wants to make that normal. And of course, you so-called Negroes who follow the minds of the white man, you're gonna make it normal in your mind too. But you don't want to call it just what it is, nothing but chaotic and confusion. Chaos and confusion. That's all it is. Nothing but chaos and confusion. You understand? They embrace it because they bored. You understand? They bored. That's really why they embrace a lot of that. They bored. Go back to the story of so-called Adam and Eve, right? Even though that is a analogy or symbolism of something, look at the story of Adam and Eve. You know what I'm saying? It's real symbology in that story. You had the so-called serpent, right, who came around and offered while Adam was off doing whatever he was doing. He came around Eve, who was looking for some excitement, who didn't want to follow the law and the order, according to the story, and she was looking for some excitement. And you don't know the only way for these people to find excitement, right? And you know when they following law and order, when they are living what they consider to be a mundane life, following law and order and structure, well, what do? They got to go against that law and order. They got to open themselves up to chaos and confusion. That's what the whole symbolism of the serpent represents. That serpent came in bringing chaos and confusion, according to the story. Because she was looking for that. She called that, according to the story. There's more to it, but I'm giving you some symbolism of what that really meant. that you had a female who was seeking to break the law and the order and was willing to follow chaos and confusion because she was bored. She didn't like the setup. She didn't like the order. She didn't like the structure. You understand that? So she chose to follow chaos and confusion. I'm going to listen to the serpent. I'm going to follow the serpent. The serpent seed still happens to this day. That'll happen to this day. You'll have a woman that's in a good relationship, right, with her man. The next thing you know, she become bored. I don't want to be his. I'm tired of this. I don't want to be with him no more. I don't want to. Next thing you know, she in bed with his friend. She jumping in bed with his friend. Because she doing it. She's not doing it because she's sexually dissatisfied. Because there's plenty of ways a woman could satisfy herself sexually if she wanted to. She doing it because she wanted to embrace chaos and confusion in her life. She got tired of the law and the order of that relationship. She wanted to embrace chaos and confusion. You understand? Just like I said with them homosexuals and lesbians, they don't like the structure of man and woman together. That lifestyle, that way of life is too straight for them. You know, now they say you straight or you gay. You straight or queer. Queer means weird. Ain't that what the homosexuals call it? Strange. Queer means strange. They embrace strange ways in their lives, meaning they open themselves up to them demonic energies. They become vessels for that demonic energy. They love it. They tattooing themselves all up. What will make you write all on your damn face? Why would you put a tattoo in your face? Why would you tattoo all over your body? I seen a picture of Chris Brown. He tattooed white Jesus on the back of his head. You tell me that ain't nothing but a bunch of chaotic and confused energy, demonic energy. Anytime you going to put a white man, you going to shave your head down and tattoo somebody on your damn head next to where your brain is, and that's going inside of your bloodstream. That's chaos and confusion. These people are sick. They're mentally ill, and these are the type of people that are around you. These are the type of people that are around your children. This is what permeates the mind of the so-called black race. Women piercing their damn nipples and their clitoris. Why would you do something like that? Why would you put piercings in your nipples and in your clitoris? Why would you men put piercings in your damn nipples and down in your penis? That's because you're sick. You sat around and be like, oh, my penis look regular. Oh, my nipples look regular. I don't like how it's too plain. They'll use words like that. It's too plain. My nipples are too plain. My clitoris looks too plain. I need to put a decoration in it. You understand? I need to pierce myself. I need to feel some pain. Because when you go in there, I need to feel some sensation. I need to feel some confusion in my life. I need to feel like I'm different. You know, I need to do something different. I want people to look at me. Whether they look at me in disgust or whether they look at me in admiration, I want people to look at me. The people who are desirous of attention, those are people who embrace chaos and confusion. Because most of the people who are looking at you, right, who are studying you, they chaotic and confused they damn self. They're not looking. You looking to bring about some sort of response, some sort of process. And you want that attention. You want them to be shocked by you, right? You want them to be appalled by you. You want them to look at you because that's that demonic energy of chaos and confusion. Like them Negroes in the conscious community. Most of them be spouting them off a lot of chaos, nonsense out of their mouths. I ain't going to name the names. You know these guys making up stuff as they go along, just lying, making up stuff, taking stuff from bits and pieces. But that's that demon on them. That's that demon that want chaos and confusion where you running your mouth. You're not talking about nothing. You don't have any real reason for doing it. Like when I talk, I do it because I'm raising up my people. I'm raising up the Republic of MENTELLECT. I'm raising the community. That's why I'm up here talking. I'm not up here talking because I want to be a radio personality. I'm not up here running my mouth because I want to be heard and seen and I want to be the smartest guy and I want to be there. No, I'm doing it because I'm raising the community. That's why. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be doing this. There's a point to why Nuben Menkares does a radio broadcast. There's a point to why he spreads Mentellect. There's a point to why he's talking about Amen, because Nuben Menkares is trying to reestablish law and order after the order of Amen. Trying to reestablish law and order amongst our people or the persons. Trying to reestablish law and order under Amen. That's why. Not because, I just want people to hear what I think, or I want to share my thoughts and whatnot. No. It's all about reestablishing law and order in a state of chaos and confusion. That's what it's about. These people are not about that. They here to spread chaos and confusion. Your Tommy Sotomayors, your Tariq Nasheeds. You understand? Now your Umar Johnson. These people are here to cause chaos and confusion. Because if you're sitting up here going back and forth, cursing people out and stuff like that, you're here to cause chaos and confusion. Because if you're really about law and order and all that, you put aside the chaos and confusion. If you're really about law and order, you sidestep the chaos and confusion. You ain't going back and forth with people. You ain't doing all this nonsense. You ain't talking just to be talking and whatnot. And there's no point to why you're doing it. I just use these Negroes as an example. I'm not mad at them. I don't care about them. I'm just using this as an example. Because even if Umar Johnson did mean well in what he was doing, by him even responding to these clowns and whatnot, like I said, you became part of the chaos and the confusion. You opened yourself as a vessel for that demonic energy. You opened yourself up for it. You fed into it. So even if you was serious about reestablishing some sort of law and order amongst the children, so-called black children, right, you end up spreading chaos and confusion, bruh. Which is what a lot of these people do. People want to spread chaos and confusion because that's what the attraction is. That's what the attraction is amongst black people and people in general. If you follow confused and chaotic people, you're going to be confused and chaotic yourself. I'm going to say it again. If you follow confused and chaotic people, you're going to be confused and chaotic yourself. If you follow those confused and chaotic people, you're going to be confused and chaotic yourself. Now, listen to the music that you listen to today, hip-hop. You're going to tell me that it's not a bunch of chaos and confusion? People who sound like garbage, rhyming off beat, just saying anything? You want to tell me that's not meant to be chaos and confusion? Why do you think the white man puts that out? See, he knew when we had our kind of music, it promoted thought. When you go back in the 60s, 70s, 50s, you heard the jazz music, you heard the rock and roll somewhat, right? You heard the soul music. You heard the music that we put out, right? And it had rhythm, it had tone to it, it made you think. Even the early hip-hop, was about something. It sounded good. It was rhythmic. It made you think. It promoted some form of law and order and discipline, and you hear it in the music. See, when you hear good music, you hear good instrumentals, you hear good vocals, that takes discipline, and discipline is only brought about by law and order. You develop discipline by following law and order. There's a law and order and a structure to learning how to play a musical instrument. You have to follow a law and an order to learn how to play a piano, play a horn, play a drums, do all that. There's a law and order, a structure to that. You have to play within a band because the band represents an organization, and you playing your part within an organization. So if you're going to make harmonious music that is going to please the masses, you have to play your position in that group, and that takes discipline, it takes focus, and it takes a structured mind. You can't be in a group and have a chaotic and confused mind because the music is going to sound bad. Now you listen to this music today, what you want to call music, this trap music, it's all about chaos and confusion. The music sounds like garbage. But you have a bunch of a young generation that's riding down the streets in every city out here in America listening to that garbage. So what do you think is happening in their minds when they're hearing this kind of music? What do you think is being promoted? Chaos and confusion. Because these guys who is making this music, these Lil Waynes, these Uzi Verts, these Savage, 21 Savage, you look at these guys, and you could tell they are in a chaotic and confused state. They got all kinds of demons all over them. They got all kinds. They've made themselves the vessels of demonic energy. They all tattooed up. You understand? They look like they all unkept. They look all, like I said, they got all kinds of demonic energy on them. And the beast unleashes these people out onto you for your children to listen to. Kodak Black, right? Lil Wayne, Young Jeezy, all these guys, right? They unleash these people out onto the air for you to listen to. All they talking about is doing drugs, killing people, selling drugs, all kinds of illicit, degenerate sex acts. This is what they talking about. This is what they talking about. And it's promoting nothing but chaos and confusion. And they doing that purposely. The white man pushed that out for your children to listen to purposely because he doesn't want them to have a lawful and orderly mindset. See, good music promotes that. Good music promotes lawful and orderly mindsets. You understand? That's why if you notice, the white man, they don't listen to that music. They don't listen to that. You understand? The older white people, they listening to jazz music. Or they listen to some easy listening. Some of them listening to R&B and soul music, the old stuff, right? From white groups, right? The white kids, they ain't listening to that. They listening to some of the white groups, Fall Out Boy and all this other stuff like that. But they're not listening to that monkey trap music. They're not listening to that. They want your children to listen to that. They want your children to have a chaotic and confused mind. A mind is open for savage energy, for spiritually savage-like energy. You understand? They want your children's mind to be open for that. They want your children's mind to be open for all kinds of demonic possession. You understand that? That's why these guys, like I say, tattooing themselves up, tattooing 666 all over. It's all kind of madness. You understand? Their daughters, they tattooing themselves all up and whatnot. They getting tatted all over the place. You writing all over yourself. That's the sign of a sick mind. And that's what they want. They want you to be an open vessel for that demented and demonic energy that takes over your body to the point where you don't even realize what you're doing. You'll be listening. These guys will be listening to this kind of music. Next thing you know, they rob somebody or they drinking some cough syrup and things like that. They getting sick. They all strung out on drugs. And I'm like, they wondering like, why did I do all that? Because you walking around in a haze, a chaotic and confused haze, and you are just following like a zombie. You following these things. And that's the vibration, tone, and frequency through this music that they put out. It opens you up. That's why I said you must be careful of the kind of music you let yourself listen to. You got to be careful of that. You understand? You ever see these guys? They'll be driving down the street in certain cities, and they'll have that music blasting. They'll have that trap music, that demonic monkey music, that trap music blasting out of their car. Now, it used to be a time when the so-called white man, the police, would come and tell you to cut that music down. He's going to cut that music down. You can't be into that. You you're breaking some sort of city ordinance with all the noise pollution and things like that. But notice now he lets them ride through the streets playing that loud garbage music, that chaotic and confused music. Why? Why does he let them do it? Why he don't stop them and pull them over and write them a ticket for it? They got big speakers. They ain't afraid to play that music and whatnot because the beast, he wants your children to hear that. He wants your children to be focused on it. He wants your children to let that music go into them. They want that. Let me take a call. 954.
Hey, how you doing, Brother Nuga?
How you doing?
I'm good, brother. Thank you. Hey, brother, explain to me about talking about confusion. It's such a mad race for all these states here to get what they renamed the marijuana to cannabis. As soon as the white man wants to make it legal and not lock up anybody, they got all these states in the union. I think there's 24 more that want to get involved with it. Before it was so evil and so bad, they were throwing people out the NBA. What they did with Ricky Williams for smoking it. You got Obama. So I don't see anything wrong with it. And you got all these people that are for it now, and they got all these states that are for it. What's going on behind this thing that the government's getting behind in these states, and they're trying to figure out how to get their money. That's why it's taking so long for all the states. The feds got to figure out how to get their cut. But what's going on with this? Why is it okay now for people to be? I'm not saying they're bad for smoking. I'm saying that before they were saying that you couldn't be under the influence of certain things. You go to work, you get fired if you were under. You had to take doggone drug tests. Every time I went out there to the work field, when I did the few jobs I had, you had to do a drug test. Couldn't have marijuana nothing in your system. Can't be in the military. So why is it okay for these states now? They handed out doggone licenses left and right, all the way up to Connecticut. What's going on with that, Brother Newton?
Well, it's not about money, number one, because all they got to do is just print more money. You know what I'm saying? There's never been any goal or anything to back up the money. They never had enough gold to back up money. So it's not about the money. They don't need the money. They could just reprint more money. The Federal Reserve could just print more money and just give it to the states. Why they doing it is because they want people in a drugged out haze. They're going to make all kinds of strands of marijuana that's not going to really be marijuana. See, you've seen the first stage of that when they was pushing that K2. And people started dying off of that. That was a strong dose of synthetic marijuana. It's not even weed, but they want to push strands of that where, especially in the so-called black neighborhoods, because they realize that black people, and really the target is at black people than anything, like as it always is, because they realize that this generation would not shoot heroin. I mean, they might snort it, but these young kids ain't going to shoot no heroin. They ain't going to really snort no cocaine or smoke no crack. So what they will do is they will give them all kinds of different strands of marijuana to smoke, which got all kinds of chemicals on it, and then those chemicals will make them sterile. Those chemicals will then make them lose brain cells, blow their minds, make them open vessels for chaos and confusion, and like you said, will cause all kinds of accidents. These guys will be riding around high and whatnot. You're going to see the alarming rate of crime go up. You're going to start seeing these guys smoking different kinds of marijuana, and they're going to start attacking people and things like that. All kinds of stuff they doing, they opening the door for by doing that. There's a reason why they doing that. They want crime to go up, okay? They want crime to go up. They want accidents to go up. They want deaths to go up, because you're going to have people who's going to die off certain strands of marijuana that these people are putting out there. But the government won't trace themselves back to it, but because you're going to still have guys that are selling marijuana. They're not going to have a license to sell it, but they're going to still be selling marijuana. They'll sell different strands of it that's stronger, and that's what you're going to deal with.
Well, when you agree that
it's all about. Let me say it, it's all about ultimately promoting chaos and confusion, because that's how the so-called white man, he maintains a society, because he will have chaos and confusion in his society, but he will try and control it just so he can come in and be the law and order that that keeps it at bay, because that's how the best way to keep your machine strong is by giving it work to do, by giving it work to lock people up, right? To arrest people who done been in accidents, who done flipped out off of some certain weed they done smoked and they done killed a bunch of people. So this is what they doing. They trying to create chaos and confusion by doing this.
I agree with you 100%, brother. I know the judicial system and the governmental systems and people in high places. That's how they make the living off those different branches of confusion, because they would go idle. They'd be like the Maytag repairman. You know, we grew up with that image, and the Maytag repairman had nothing to do. They never want things to be that peaceful, because those aristocratic intellect, those people at the top who control things, they wouldn't have any professions. It goes through psychology. It goes through every profession there is, all the way up to the top. And without that, because if you know, when you go back in the time, you didn't see. Things always been. You always have to have law and order, but you didn't see things like what you see today. Now it's just like open reign again, kind of like when I grew up in the 50s and the 60s, and I was seeing all the chaos that was going on in the 60s, even though there was balance to it. But today, like I said, if I turn to sports, like you were talking about the confusion, now the NBA and all these big sport venues, they're playing trap music. Doing between the play, NBA's playing it. You see it everywhere. All this stuff is popular, becoming and normalizing everything that was a so-called decadent before. And I don't even know if the white people, even the Caucasian people, even listen. They know what they listen to. They always bounce anything that we come up with, anything, anyway. But I just find it amazing how all of a sudden the whole society, the whole landscape is going to allow. And I saw a sister on TV today. I don't watch television, but I saw her on the internet, and they were congratulating. She's 25 years old, and she's on one of these big shows on TV. But they gave her a license along with the doctor and somebody else up in the Northeast, and they were so elated, so happy. I said, wow, because see the street dealer, they're still going to go to jail. They're still going to arrest them. They're not worried about arresting Negroes and color folks. They're still going to arrest them. It's just like trying to sell booze or anything on the street, tobacco, anything that has an excise tax you can't sell. So unless you have a license. So them Negroes and color folks, they're still going to go to jail. They're still going to prison. They know there's going to be plenty of them to fill up the prison with illegal sales. But because you have those people, even in California, I live partially in California, and I do know how big it's been for decades in the northern part of California. That they have those farms are so huge, they're massive, and like you say, you can go to those kiosks and you can buy different types of foods and treats and pastries and all kind of stuff, candy, from these,
and that's another thing they want. They want, because they know when people smoke marijuana, they're going to be hungry. They're going to eat more of the GMO food too. It's going to be more GMO food for you to consume.
But those states are allowing them to sell the goods also inside those kiosks. They can sell brownies and cookies and candies, and now it's it's already started reaching to the underage. They're getting their hands on it already. They're getting their hands on the treats. Because everything in our home, you and I, everybody else grow up with different people and different uncles, and everybody's got an alcoholic or somebody in the house that everybody got a vice. So it's going to naturally get down to the children. It's going to have more. And
let me tell you something about that. And let me cut you, but let me tell you something about that. When you start to legalize things, right, like that, people tend to always want something that is a next level, something that's going to be illegal. So that weed that they're legalizing, the typical people in the hood, they're not gonna want the weed that's legal, the regular stuff. They're gonna want something that's on some next level stuff that's gonna be illegal.
That's right.
You understand? They're gonna come up with something that's gonna be illegal. Just like eventually they're gonna come up with another drug for niggas to sell in the hood that that's gonna make crack look like damn kindergarten chalk or something like that. They're gonna come up with something. You understand?
Yeah.
Because they need to lock some more people up. Because crack.
They got to fill up them private prisons they keep building.
Oh yeah, they need niggas in them private jails. They need chaos and confusion. They need a new drug. See, they need a new drug. They need a new crack. See, crack did wonders for them. So they need a new cheap drug that these guys could sell. Because right now, what they're gearing up for is I hear they about to put back out Scarface again. Now that was a big movie that was dealing with chaos and confusion, and a lot of so-called black people got hooked on that movie and was inspired to want to deal drugs and be part of that whole state of crime, which is crime is nothing but chaos and confusion. That's all. It is absence of law. It is opposite of law and order. So they're gonna have these people get involved in that chaos and confusion because you still got these Negroes that's looking up to a lot of these drug dealers. Which, all these guys did was cause chaos and confusion when they was out in the streets selling drugs, and you got a whole bunch of people that's looking up to that.
Wow. There's so much confusion, brother. I'm glad you're speaking on this. I'm going to let you go on and teach, but I'll call in later about this other confusion I want to talk with your community about because it's a big one that you speak about quite a bit because they look up to some of these celebrities. They look up to them like they're like they're so-called the small G gods, and it's just really unbelievable what's going on and how they are. But I'm gonna let you get back to teaching, brother. You take care, all right, brother?
All right, brother.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Yes, that's what it really is. Like I said, they're gonna come up with something, a new drug for Negroes to sell, and it's gonna make them a lot of money, but they're gonna get harder jail time for this. It'll be something new, probably in a year or two. So they got to, because they know black people commit crimes and indulge in chaos and confusion for money. And the chasing of money and crime is nothing but chaos and confusion. I was caught up in it at one time in my life, and I realized what it was. You know what I'm saying? That it's nothing but meant to be a circle to get you locked up in jail. You understand? Get you going back into bondage again. Because here it is, you out here chasing money. These guys are out here chasing money, selling drugs, robbing and stealing and doing all this stuff they doing, credit card scams and things like that, just so they can get money to give back to the white man. The same white man that want to put them in jail. Tell me that's not chaos and confusion. They out here selling drugs to buy clothes, to buy cars, to buy jewelry, to buy all this stuff to give right back to the white man. The same white man that want to put you under the jail. The same white man is going to take that money that you gave them to invest in private prisons and lock your black asses up. You understand? Tell me that's not chaos and confusion. The same white man that's investing in that, producing that monkey music, to entice you all to be open vessels for that demonic energy to go out here and try to be snowmen or dope men or dope boys or whatever the hell you Negroes talking about doing, selling dope and whatever, and carrying guns and robbing and stealing. Then next thing you know, you selling dope, you join the gang, you trying to get money, you talking all this money, then you giving it right back to the white man. The same white man is going to put you in jail. They're the same people. They're the same people. They're together. Whether you know it or not, it's the same people. They're together. You understand? They got private prison stock. They know that you want the money just so you can buy material possession. You chasing money. You rather sell drugs, kill people, do all this stuff. You're going to go see that new Scarface movie, Tony Montana, and you're going to want, you Negroes like y'all did in the 80s, you're going to want to be Tony Montana again. You're going to want to start selling dope. It'll be something else other than crack. And y'all going to make a lot of money, and you're going to have a good 3 or 4 year run, some of you Negroes, and the white man going to come with the police, the FBI, the DEA, and they're going to kick in your door and take y'all to jail. Right? And y'all going to get locked under the jail, like all them niggas did in the 80s, that y'all still, that they still look up to. You understand? Like these guys did in the 80s and the 90s. Notice the age of the big drug dealer is over. The age of the big drug deal is over. So they watched that come out. They locked up a lot of people, and they're going to bring it back out again so they can put a lot more of you little Negroes in bondage. So they'll be having some drug coming through the hood, and they'll show y'all how to make it and whatnot, and they'll have y'all selling it to the people. They just ain't figured it out yet. But look, trust me, they're looking to figure it out. It'll be something smokable. So pay attention to that. That's coming. We'll be right back. We'll get back. You know, when I pointed out the fact that the people that they teach you to look up to in the society are really agents of chaos and confusion, most of the people that they call icons in this society were agents of chaos and confusion. Martin Luther King was an agent of chaos and confusion, because how simple would it have been for him to be an advocate of so-called black people forming their own businesses and their own areas and pushing that agenda, right? How easy would it have been for him to advocate that, of black people saying, getting black people to be proud of themselves and saying, you know what? If you don't want us in your society going into your stores, we need to do our own thing, right? And we need to have our own, areas in which we doing our own things in these different cities and whatnot. You know, like the Chinatowns, the Hasidic Jews and or the Amish places and whatnot. Black people need to have the same thing. So-called black people need to have the same thing. How come Martin Luther King wasn't an advocate of that? And I pointed out that you see the people who move like that, the Jews, the Asians, the Amish, they're more successful being separate, moderately separate, than trying to be all-inclusive. But Martin Luther King wanted to push that because he was an agent of chaos and confusion. Same way Malcolm X became an agent of chaos and confusion when he started promoting Pan-Africanism. And he stopped following the Nation of Islam and Elijah Muhammad, where there was a structure and an order and a law that was being followed. I'm not saying it was the most perfect, but it was a structure, a law, and an order that was being followed, right? And he chose to break away from that, grow hair all over his face, break protocol, start talking about Kennedy, and he wanted to cause chaos and confusion. So when Malcolm X left the Nation of Islam, he became an agent of chaos and confusion. He went against his leader, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, started talking about him and his personal affairs and what he was doing with women. That was representing chaos and confusion. And notice the white man made Malcolm X an icon. You can go to any city in this country, same way, and you'll see a Malcolm X Boulevard. Same way you go to any one of these cities in this country, and you'll see a Martin Luther King street, or Martin Luther King Boulevard, or Martin Luther King School, or Malcolm X School, because the white man wants you to embrace icons that he turned into rogues that he turned into symbols of chaos and confusion. Malcolm X went against the Nation of Islam as a symbol of chaos and confusion. Martin Luther King worked against the interests of black people who were trying to be independent of the white man and starting their own businesses by pushing integration. So they became agents of chaos and confusion, right? Because it would have been lawful and orderly for you to do your own thing and start your own businesses and set up your own separate enterprises away from Caucasians. That would have been lawful and orderly for you to do, like everybody else does, right? But because they were agents of chaos and confusion that were here to serve the beast, to keep black people in this perpetual state of chaos and confusion, to keep black people getting beat up and civil rights marches, getting water hoses sprayed on them, dogs sicked on them, that's nothing but chaos and confusion. You're trying to force yourself on people that don't want you. That's nothing but chaos and confusion. That promotes nothing but a low mentality of yourself. Nobody's going to think highly of you when you're trying to force yourself on them and they don't want you. And this is what Martin Luther King was pushing. This is what Malcolm X started to push after a while. Tupac and Biggie. You like Tupac because the white man showed Tupac spitting in cameras, throwing up the finger F you, and acting like a wild savage. To my F your wife, talking to another black man about committing adultery with his wife and cursing out Biggie and all of them. That y'all love Tupac for that. Because he was the symbol of a wild, uncontrollable, chaotic and confused nigga. That's the image with the damn slave rag on his head, the damn bandana wrapped around his head. That's what the white man was promoting. He loved Biggie because all he talked about in his first album was chaos and confusion, selling dope to his people, robbing and stealing from his people. Didn't do nothing, wouldn't talk about doing nothing to the white man, but he talked about robbing and selling drugs, and y'all sit up here and bought that and made him an icon off of that chaos and confusion. Talking about he ready to die, all kind of madness that he was in that record. And y'all still promote the same, and y'all still embrace the same chaos and confusion. You're being conned into embracing chaos and confusion. You embrace the drug dealer in the hood that's tearing up the damn hood, selling dope all over the place, right? Because he's driving a nice car, because he got jewelry on, because he got all the females around him. And I said females, not the women. He got the females around him. So you embrace that guy who tearing up your neighborhood, shooting up the neighborhood, being a bad impression on the kids and whatnot, looking up to him, right? Even when he goes down, you still embracing him, because you got a lot of these Negroes that was and they was so-called hood stars in the 80s and the 90s. That a lot of these niggas in New York still embrace. Guys that's on walls and murals. These guys that they embrace, and you'll see all these so-called gangsters, right, who are dead and gone now, right? They still embracing these guys, and all these guys did was wreak havoc on their own people. That's all they did. All they did was cause chaos and confusion amongst black people in their own neighborhoods, robbing and stealing from their own people, selling drugs to their own people. And then these Negroes end up, and they did it all because they wanted to buy that fake life of luxury and things like that and get material possessions from the white man. That's why they did it. And then the white man takes the same white man, like I said, the same white man that they went out here and killed their people, sold dope to their people, robbed their people to get money to buy his stuff, is the same white man who locked their asses up. How ironic. How chaotic and confused. Yet, and these guys might have sold drugs for about 10 years, robbed and stole for about 10 years, and then they're going to get locked up and spend the rest of their life in damn jail. And y'all still put these people on the pedestal? Are you serious? Are you serious? These people set up here and robbed, stole, sold drugs, and you look up to them, these niggas on damn YouTube doing documentaries to these guys, looking up to them like they was thorough, they was doing this, they was making things happen. What did they make happen but chaos and confusion? What did they make happen but getting you to embrace their madness? All they did was bully their own people. All they did was make their own people's lives live in hell. That y'all taught to embrace that. You tell me that's not nothing but chaos and confusion. But the girl or the guy that's going to school to be a doctor, a lawyer, somebody who got sense about themselves, y'all don't care about that. They square, they boring. I don't want to be like them. The one who conducting themselves lawful and orderly, respectful, there's something wrong with them. I don't like them. There's something wrong with them. You like the thugs. You like the degenerates. You like the guys that's committing crimes out here that's gonna get locked up in jail. They up here committing crimes for 10 years, hard, strong, robbing and stealing, selling drugs, and then they're gonna get locked up in jail for the rest of their life. So you did all that for 10 years of pleasure. You threw away. These guys probably gonna live to be 70, 80 years old. They're gonna be locked up for 60 years, 70 years. And all like 50 years, 50, 60 years, they're gonna be locked up for the rest, which is pretty much the rest of their life. All because they was running around with a 10-year run, robbing and stealing, committing chaos, all kinds of chaos and confusion. They ain't so bad now. They in a damn 4x8 cell somewhere with another man. You understand? That's what they doing. That's what your heroes are doing. They didn't even go to jail for nothing noble. You understand? I can see you going to jail for you sticking up for your people and whatnot, defending your people or defending your family or something like that. They went to jail for wreaking havoc and chaos and confusion on their own people, and this is what you look up to them for. This is what you look up to them for. This is what you young guys want to be like. You understand? This is what you want to be like. This is the chaos and confusion. You understand that? And y'all still embrace that. You know, y'all want to be dope boys and, you know, and all this other stuff because you embrace that chaos and confusion. You confused about your sexuality. You understand? You confused about that. What else are you confused about? Everything. Everything. Y'all confused about everything. You understand that? They are confused about everything. And this is why, again, black people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Knowledge about what they really suffer from, which is a mental problem. This is a mental problem. This is a problem that can't be fixed by money. They can't be fixed by material possessions. It can't be fixed by politics. It can't be fixed by black power, shouting black power. This is a mental problem. And that mental problem is simply your desire to be mentally stimulated by chaos and confusion. Your desire to be mentally stimulated by chaos and confusion, and thus opening yourself up for demonic possession. Because when you call for that excitement in your life, there will be a demon that will show up to give it to you. There will be a demon that will show up to give you that chaos and confusion you want, that excitement, aka chaos and confusion that you want in your life. There will be a demon that will show up and give it to you. You understand? Whether it be one of your best friends, whether it be one of your family members, whether it be a thought that just comes in your head to get you to follow, to go out to some club somewhere and call yourself having a good time around a bunch of other three-dimensional people. Next thing you know, the damn club gets shot up, and you get shot up with in the damn club. You understand? Or you in a car accident, something to tell you, your higher self will tell you, don't go out there around them people. Don't go out there and be around them people, but you go anyway because you bored, because you want that excitement. You want a little chaos and confusion in your life, a.k.a. excitement in your life. And you go out, and you do that, and that's what results from it. That's what results from it. They use primitive things like a devil being the mind being the idle mind being the devil's workshop, but that means something. All that is symbology. It's all symbolism. That you let demonic energy in, spiritually demonic energy in, demented energy in, when you are so-called quote-unquote bored, when you have too much predictability, too much law and order, because predictability really means structure, law and order, but you consider that to be boring. You consider that to be, that's what you consider it to be, and you want something else. You want chaos in your life. You want confusion in your life. And then when you get it, you eventually begging for stability in your life again. When you get that chaos and confusion in your life, you always eventually begging for that stability to come back again. Because once you get into that chaotic and confused state, once you embrace that in your life, out of boredom, once you embrace those demons, it's hard as hell to shake. It's hard as hell. Once you let certain people into your life, it's hard to get rid of these people. They're going to be calling you. They're going to be on your tail. They're going to be bothering you. Get involved with certain males out here You get involved with certain males out here. Next thing you know, they going crazy. They trying to get in contact with you. They trying to run you down. Next thing you know, these guys kill you. They kill you because they demonically possessed too. They don't want you to leave that union of chaos and confusion. The demon in them don't want you to leave that union of chaos and confusion, so they end up killing you. And they possess. The next thing you know, after they done strangled you, killed you, whatever, dumped your body, chopped your body up, did whatever. You see it all the time. They like, I don't know what happened. I don't know. Everything just went black. I blacked out. I blacked out. I blacked out. That's that demonic possession. That's real. And you opened yourself up to it. You did it all by yourself. You did it all to yourself. So let me go ahead and read these questions before we get out of here. Why do people really embrace chaos and confusion in their lives? Out of boredom, right? Out of a desire to want to shake things up, as they say, change things in order to break law and order, or the predictability of law and order. They want to break that by adding chaos and confusion, by shuffling things up. And a lot of times they get more than what they bargained for when they do that. You'll be surprised who you end up letting in your life when you do that. You'll be surprised. Is it all they know? That's all they want. It's not that that's all they know. It's all they want, because they go by desires. They go by what they want instead of what they need. They go by what they want instead of what they need. You're taught to want chaos and confusion, but what you need is law and order. Are they aware of why they do this? Why they doing it? No. Why they doing it? No, they're not. They just being led along. They're being led astray and be led along, right? By that demonic state of chaos and confusion, that confused energy that's leading them around, that chaotic energy that's guiding them around, whether they're being guided by friends who got that energy and that spiritual energy on them, or whether it's in them themselves and taking hold of them and house their bodies. They're being guided by that. Can they help themselves? They don't want to help themselves till it's too late. Is chaos and confusion necessary? In that it helps to separate the weak from the strong, because the strong will embrace law and order. The weak will embrace chaos and confusion. So it helps in that sense that it will help bring about the separation of the two. The double-minded from the single-minded. You need to separate the double-minded from the single-minded, the chaotic and the confused from the lawful and orderly minds. And that's it. Join me tomorrow night for the next MENTELLECT radio broadcast. We're going to be talking about how old the earth really is and the people on it. All right, I'm going to be breaking that down. So tune in. They blocked me on Facebook from posting. I told you they don't want this knowledge to get out. They don't want MENTELLECT to get out. They don't want this intel to get out, this intelligence to get out. And also join me on Sunday at Restoration Plaza, 1368 Fulton Street. 1368 Fulton Street in Brooklyn, New York, between New York and Brooklyn Avenues. Call 718-510-3769 for our Supermen, Superwoman project. You can come for free. There's no charge. We'll be in the basement. I'll be running my mouth teaching class. We'll have our people on site. We'll have books there and everything. We're going to have a nice time. So join me on Sunday and join me tomorrow night at 10. I am the intellectual Nuben Menkares. This has been MENTELLECT Radio. Where do I want to stop? Anyway.
Rising out the black race to the white race, out the black race to the white race. It's the Republic of MENTELLECT. Black race to the white race. If it's hell, then it's hell us. They tried everything just to spell us. Fed us religion, gave us fake gods. Through all of that, we beat the odds. Now we coming together under one flag. Colors red, gold, and blue. Superman, Superwoman, that's me and you. The infinite capabilities